How close is Donald Trump to Vladimir Putin? Are they secret pen pals? Do they share Netflix recommendations? Maybe they even have matching friendship bracelets. Well, today, we're diving deep into the Trump-Putin bromance, or should I say, alleged bromance, and figuring out if these two are just acquaintances or if they're BFFs plotting world domination over a cup of Russian tea. Get ready for some shocking revelations and a few laughs along the way. Is Donald Trump Vladimir Putin's best friend? Spoiler alert, obviously not. But their potential closeness is revealed in a book that is causing quite a stir in the United States and sparking many debates. So, concretely, what are we talking about? What's really behind all of this? And what are Vladimir Putin's current positions on Russia or the war in Ukraine, especially as the U.S. presidential election approaches? It's the American journalist Bob Woodward who made unprecedented revelations regarding the relationship and potential closeness between the former U.S. President Donald Trump, who is currently a presidential candidate, and Russian President Vladimir Putin. For those unfamiliar with Bob Woodward, he is the journalist who notably brought the Watergate scandal to light. This major political affair occurred in the 1970s, when members of then-President Richard Nixon's administration attempted to cover up a burglary, a political espionage case. This affair ultimately led to Nixon's resignation in 1974. Bob Woodward recently published a book titled War, in which he reveals, among other things, that Donald Trump sent COVID-19 detection tests to Vladimir Putin for his personal use. To put it in context, this was during the height of the pandemic, when Donald Trump was still President of the United States, a country that was sorely lacking in testing supplies. According to the journalist, it was Vladimir Putin who asked the U.S. government not to speak about this exchange. Beyond this incident, which might seem quite trivial, the book reveals that Donald Trump allegedly continued to maintain a relationship with Vladimir Putin even after losing the U.S. presidential election in 2020. Specifically, the two men reportedly communicated up to 7 times since Trump has no longer been the President of the United States. In other words, they have been in contact nearly 7 times since early 2021, which includes a period during which Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. These claims are based on testimonies from various advisors. This book is already causing a lot of reactions. In response to these revelations, a spokesperson for the former U.S. president condemned what he called, quote, entirely fabricated stories for a book that could serve as toilet paper. Russia has also denied these claims and rejected the accusations. Meanwhile, as you might expect, the Democratic camp is denouncing the closeness between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. But beyond these revelations, what do we really know about the relationship between Trump and Putin? Aside from their personal relationship, we can also examine Donald Trump's positions on important issues concerning Russia, especially the matter of Ukraine. The Republican Party, Trump's party, is very hesitant about continuing financial and military aid to Ukraine. Ukraine is heavily dependent on aid from Western countries, particularly from Europe and, in large part, the United States. Republicans have also blocked the vote on a financial aid package worth tens of billions of dollars. Similarly, Donald Trump has made numerous critical statements about Volodymyr Zelensky, calling him, I quote, the best salesman on the planet, and adding, I quote, every time he comes to our country, he leaves with $60 billion, referring to the aid provided. Trump also claimed that he could resolve the war in Ukraine in 24 hours. Of course, it's very hard to say whether he would actually be able to bring Ukraine and Russia to the negotiating table, but we know that other countries are also aspiring or eager to take on the role of mediator. It's worth noting that in his political rhetoric, Donald Trump consistently says that he wants to prioritize the problems within the United States. When it comes to foreign policy, he likes to position himself as a negotiator. A notable example of this is the images of Trump with Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea and a sworn enemy of the United States. The meeting took place in 2018, and those images circulated around the world, raising hopes for easing tensions between the two countries. Regarding the situation in Ukraine, many believe that Donald Trump's stance could, in any case, appeal to the Russian president and Russia. The reason is simple. If the United States stops funding the war in Ukraine and engages in dialogue with Russia, it would inevitably weaken Ukraine's position. Ukraine would find itself with lost territories and less financial support from the U.S., which would push them to negotiate. Another quick point to note is that Trump has expressed reservations about NATO. NATO is the military alliance led by the United States, of which many European countries are members. This alliance includes financial contributions to the military, and there is a significant rule within NATO. If one NATO country is attacked, the other countries must defend it. Donald Trump declared that he wouldn't protect a NATO country that doesn't meet its defense spending obligations. He also stated that he would encourage Russia to do as it pleases with countries that don't pay. These comments caused a stir, and Trump later walked them back, attempting to clarify his stance. You may have heard that Vladimir Putin declared his support for Kamala Harris in this presidential election, but be careful. Contrary to what some media outlets suggested, if you watch the full clip, it was clearly ironic. However, we do know that accusations of Russian interference in previous U.S. presidential elections are well-founded. There are also accusations of AI-generated content on social media or online aimed at influencing the election as well. The impact of all these actions on the elections remains unclear. Election day is fast approaching. So, are Trump and Putin besties, secret agents, or just two guys who exchanged a few awkward phone calls? Who knows? What we do know is that the mystery continues, because in politics, friendships are as unpredictable as Trump's next tweet. Whether they're texting each other memes or plotting world peace or not, one thing's for sure, this bromance will keep the headlines buzzing. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more fun takes on politics, and let me know in the comments, are they BFFs or just frenemies?